So I made a funny discovery just a second ago. I was looking at my Fur Affinity account and I was just flipping through all the settings and stuff, and I noticed that there was a setting in Fur Affinity to block guest users and block minors from viewing your user page. I didn't know that existed. I have that turned on now. I would prefer if kids were not looking at it. Did not know that option was a thing, but I have that turned on now. So if you're a kid, sucks to suck. This is for your own good. Anyway, we got Wheel of Fortune here. It's time to do this again. I want to do some art, and I'm not sure specific on what I want to do art, aside from one thing, which is like a way too big project for Let's Draw at large. So let's see what Pokemon we're getting. And I'm not going to do the like backlog roll that I did in the first episode, because that was supposed to be the first episode that gives you a vibe of what the series is going to be. I will say, however, for these, I am going to give myself 1, maybe 2 mulligans in case I either feel like I do not have the ability to draw this, or I just really don't want to for whatever reason, or like it's a baby Pokemon or something. Just a little heads up, now that this is an actual series with 2 episodes in it, or sub-series, it's still Let's Draw. I'm gonna have 1, maybe 2 mulligans for the roll, but aside from that, I'll draw whatever. All right, here we go. Spin the wheel! I'll get the mouse in there, right? Come on, give me something good. It's looking like Gen 4, maybe? Ooh, I'm very happy about that one. This was originally my favorite evolution before it shifted over to being Flareon, because I love Flareon. Not only is this, I'm pretty sure, the first evolution I'm actually nope, I remember. Very, very old art. I drew a Orca Whale Vaporeon. She's really cute. I should update her design now that I'm like good at art. Thoughts for later. We're drawing Glaceon. Oh boy. And now I know it's Glaceon and everything, so this doesn't matter all that much, but there's always like the 1 in 6 chance that I get to come up with the colors for the Glaceon. So let's see what happens. What color will she be? Shiny, not shiny, or different? Base colors Glaceon. Cool. All right, gamers, it looks like we are drawing base colors Glaceon. I'm looking very much forward to this. So I will see you in Krita. Hey, what's up, pups? It's Vixie. I hope you're having a great day and hope it only gets better. Welcome back to Let's Draw, and especially welcome back to Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, that's pretty cool how I actually have done a proper Let's Draw episode quite frequently and nearby, close by to the last Let's Draw episode, and more importantly, the official second episode of Wheel of Fortune, so it's now a proper series now. Will I put it in a separate playlist? Probably not, I don't know. But before we get into art things, obviously we have to cover the comment of the week. So, first things first, I picked out this comment from Jocelyn Lewis, which I'm going to zoom in now, where they say, I love the Let's Draws. I like having them put on in the background while I work on other things. Can't wait to see what else you end up drawing. I like your style. And this was from the last Minecraft video, of course, where I genuinely directly asked people what they think of Let's Draw, because I don't know. Of course, moreover, in the similar vein of this, if you have something you want to say about Let's Draw, how you feel about it, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. But in general, if you would like to be the next comment of the week, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't have to be about Let's Draw. It can be a complete non sequitur. It can just have nothing to do with anything. And who knows, so long as I like it, you might be the next comment of the week. Cool. Almost made it through. But anyway, we are back with Let's Draw. Hot dog. As you were here for the cold open and everything, you likely know that our Pokemon we are going to be drawing is the humble Glaceon. Hot diggity Dougie. Isn't this so delightful? I'm super pumped about it. And I generally have an idea of what I want to do. It's going to be super basic. I don't think it's going to be, background and like a pose of her actually doing anything like the thing of Nia. Or is it Nina? It was Nina. I'm just generally going to do a very similar pose to what I have in like Vixie's ref, quote unquote, where it's just the peace sign. So that's pretty much it. I did have an idea on what I want to do for an outfit, because luckily I've already drawn a character with this sort of outfit, and I'm probably going to draw a character with this sort of outfit and make it their canon outfit, and I have one in particular in mind. I just haven't gotten around to drawing her yet. We have Haley from around the time around Halloween of last year, I believe, where I just wanted to draw big squishable hips. So I was like, hey, it's Halloween, I'll draw an ambiguous pumpkin creature. And I threw this together in like 2 hours. But anyway, this style of like the crop sweater and the crop sweater over the leotard and the like transparent fishnet pantyhose stuff, hell yeah. So I think we're going to do that for our Glaceon, especially with the fact that the fluff and the sweater and everything I feel will be pretty fitting for Glaceon because, you know, it's an ice type. Now, the thing I'm worried about is actually doing that because I guess it won't be too hard because Glaceon's head's already just kind of a circle. So I would say let's hurry up and get to our baselines, why don't we? This will be particularly interesting because I haven't actually drawn a proper, like, character in a while, which obviously I draw my thumbnails when it's not Let's Draw because, you know, I draw the art for the thumbnail. But usually for my thumbnails, and especially my Minecraft thumbnails, I'm not actually doing very much in terms of a like complex like body shape and everything. So I actually haven't drawn a proper like correctly shaped character in a little bit. So I'm gonna see how this is gonna go in terms of actually doing that. I'm already not feeling great by there we go. I did notice that a lot of the time I have an issue with getting the head proportions generally correct, which I can already feel myself getting hot, so I'm going to take off my jacket real quick, speaking of sweaters and things. On the first go, I almost always make the head too big, so I'm trying my best to fix that specifically when I do the base sketch and everything, which I think that should be okay, maybe? It might be a little big, so we're just going to smudge it down just a little bit. Something like that, maybe. That'll probably work. I did try and draw something just on my own for myself before I started, you know, before I had to record today. But given what that character is, I had a rough time with it because it's a brand of thing that I have not drawn yet before. And this is a weird way compared to what I normally do for like the body and everything, but we're gonna see if it turns out okay. She seems a little bit bigger than I wanted her to be. So make it smaller, like that, maybe? And turn it. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, it seems casual. This is supposed to be a relatively, like, casual look and everything. That character that I wanted to draw is actually, like, the reason I'm doing a Let's Draw right now. Because I wanted to do art over, you know, my weekend, so to speak. But I didn't end up doing much because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do said character. I have a baseline down for them, but I think it was her feet that I couldn't quite get right. How thickums do we want to be? I think not overly, but still like pleasing, you know? Still pleasant to look at. So maybe like that, which obviously this is still considerably plumpy, but you know, compared to what I normally draw, this is like average. How's that looking? Generally okay? Generally okay. I think it might be a little low. Yeah, I think it's a little low and this needs to like go up a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and like do that. Generally okay? I would say generally okay. I think compared once again to what I normally draw, that is a fairly like modest, reasonable size. Even if Haley is an example of I would say this is like normal. But that character I was going to draw didn't quite work out because, ironically, despite the fact that I love heels so much, I haven't had very much experience in drawing them, and that's the part I couldn't figure out. And I ended up just taking a break and being like, oh yeah, I'll deal with it later, and I'll just do a Let's Draw for the video this week, and that'll be like my arc thing. And that's why we're here. Congratulations, you have been caught up, which luckily, because this is a Let's Draw and everything, actually, speaking of in that regard, I've noticed something in particular about Let's Draw, and I actually get stuff done like relatively quickly and like okay, which is weird because that is like the exact opposite effect I would have expected, being like the pressure of, you know, drawing live and everything. But I've actually had a decently good time with getting things done, and I think it's because I'm focusing more on just like getting the thing done in a relatively like respectable time period, I suppose, because obviously I want to make it so Snowy doesn't have to edit a super long video, so I want to get through things relatively quickly. So I'm not doing what I normally do when I'm drawing on my own and worrying a whole lot about like the specifics of what the baselines look like, and I'm not like as much of a perfectionist about it. I think that's genuinely why I seem to get things done faster when I do a Let's Draw, and I think that's kind of interesting. I think that just goes to show that that is like my main issue, is that I worry too much about little stuff that really doesn't matter and all that, and like the grand scheme of things. I might make her just a little bit more plumpy, just a little bit, like just like maybe that much. Just a little bit. Just as a treat, you know? I do not want to do a full body because I've started a full body project of that character I keep mentioning. So we're just gonna go right here and crop. I now have a thigh up. Congratulations. So thankfully, I did not grab any of his stuff as reference because I could not show that on YouTube, but thankfully I did look up some art of one of my favorite artists just to get an idea because I knew he drew Glaceon recently. So I have a general idea of like the shape of the ears and everything, which my question is like, how big do I want him to be? That maybe? I think that's a bit long. So let's try like making the triangle part first. That's not terrible. And now let's scale this around a little bit. Something like that. Alright, I would say that's already generally looking like a Glaceon because of the weird like diamond-shaped ears and everything. Can we get away with just copy pasta the ear and like shrink it and move it a little bit? Because that would be ideal. Yes, we can. Hot dog. All about that speed, baby. Alright, cool. That will likely be covered up by, like, hair and the, like, ice crown that Glaceon has, so I think that'll work. Maybe a little bit shorter, but hey, you know, this isn't exactly going to be the canon design of Glaceon anyway, aside from it being a Glaceon with the default colors. We'll put those on the same layer, so that's our ears layer. I usually like starting with the hand first. So I'm probably going to do that as well. So we want to do something too big, like this. Conceptually, like base shape-wise, I'm not like terrible at doing hands, at least with my style and everything, but I still don't like doing them. Oh, I'm totally gonna give her like well, yeah, arm warmers. Like fingerless mittens sort of deal is what I was thinking, but so I'm actually gonna use that as a base for the base even, so I can be very specific about the shape. A little bit more down, just basically trace that. Yeah, there we go. I'm already seeing what I want to do. Go ahead and cut off the wrist there. Here's how I do hands, by the way. I don't think I've ever like addressed it, but I always have this like bendy rectangle shape, and then I just put triangles for the fingers. As you can see with Vixie, which this will be very handy for the particular like pose I want to do. Should be generally fine. I think it might be a little large, so we might like smoosh it, but we're gonna find out. And I'm actually gonna put this in its own group. And now we do like a little peace sign. And the index finger's like covering the middle finger, right? Yeah, the intersection there. So now we just do one of these like that. As such. And with this, we can just swamp it around just a little bit bigger. Like that. Maybe, I think that might just look weird because I didn't put the thumb in yet, but I guess maybe. I think the palm might be a little big, but I'll just continue with this for now until I can get specific about it. And while I try to figure out the hand, maybe, hey, if you're liking the videos and everything, consider subscribing. Maybe like the video, leave a comment, tell me how you're feeling. And especially subscribe if you like art and chill Let's Plays and things, because that's like my main deal. Yeah, that's okay. For a base, that's fine. But I will very quickly put in the thumb as well, which, in terms of Vixie, how is it like? It's like going under the pinky. So I guess we'll just figure this one out, because this is a little bit odd. Maybe like straight up under it sort of deal? Interesting. That's looking weird. I haven't done this in a while, so let's look at the specific shape of Vixie's fingy. Just gonna do this over. So splitting it there, we have the triangle as such, and then sort of a boxy circle like that. Okay. I would suppose. Yeah. So we want to do the triangle first, and then a boxy circle. Flip and give that a go. Got our triangle, and then actually let's cut it off even, just like we did with Vixie to make it even more specific. Like that. It looks okay. I didn't go down enough with it. Also, it's not big enough, so let's make her bigger real quick. Like that, maybe. And maybe I should have did the thumb first, but here we are. Okay, I know how the bottom looks, so I'm actually gonna make you a little bit less opaque. I know how the bottom looks, so we'll do that real quick. A little bit of a roundy like that. Okay, and now let's just move that around in a way that it looks correct. Move it up. Maybe that? Maybe. Let's erase some stuff and see if that looks okay. Good fine? Good fine? I would say good fine enough. That works. Whatever. It's just a base after all. Where's our, like, shoulders and everything? It should be at the very bottom, yeah? Yeah. So I'll move our hand down there as well, and we'll leave them out of the... That'll be the hand group, and we'll make a separate group for the arms and things, which we will very quickly put an elbow joint right here, connect it around. This is the wrist right here. Arm might be a little short, so we're gonna do this simple even. I put that on the same layer. I'm gonna cry about it, but that's fine, because we can just polygonal select that bitch out. Like right there, maybe. Yeah. I feel like her hand might be a little big, but I would say that's okay. So now we gotta do... Yeah, I think I will just like straight up basically copy Vixie's pose, just so I can get some art in that I finish. Plus, I don't know what else I would particularly like to do with her arm. I guess I could give her a bigger hoodie and like have her arm in her pocket, or her hand in her pocket, but I kind of really want to do the cropped hoodie thing. I know I literally just did that with Anitarena, but fuck it. I suppose I could do the artist thing and just cleverly hide it behind her and not even bother drawing it. That's always a possibility, but I prefer not to do that. Also, I kind of want to make her ears slightly bigger. Where's her ears at? I'm just gonna scale these up just a little bit, like maybe that much. I would say that's better. And I just realized I haven't had the official art for Glaceon up. Yeah, they're more directly diamond shaped, but you know what? That's fine. That works. I like that. So since I'm undecided on what to do with her other arm right now, I think what I'll do instead is do the tail next. We did the tail absolutely last on Nina, and it's sort of the same shape as the ears, but like a little bit looser. So let's see, what do we want to do with the tail? Something like that, maybe? Probably. Yeah, we'll do that, which I am actually going to put everything in front of the tail into their own separate group as well, just for convenience, and make it slightly less opaque so I can focus on the shape of the tail, which will be in its own group. I'm actually going to bother renaming these. Since I'm doing my my art series and everything, I did want to actually talk about something that is, you know, directly relating to my art. It is that I want to start doing commissions at some point, but I'm not sure how I want to go about it, you know? I'm feeling very intimidated on the prospect of charging people for like me to draw them and everything. And that's a big reason that I haven't like really committed to actually like opening up commissions at any point and everything. I'm really not sure how to go about it. And most importantly, I don't know what I want to do in terms of pricing. I have an idea, but I'm not sure if I want to commit to that. So if anyone was interested in getting a commission from me and was curious why I haven't started doing commissions yet, that would be why. That helped a little. Let's actually take the bottom one out first, and then do the middle. In general, I was thinking for like, you know, a thigh-up, like full color, full shading line art situation. I was thinking around like $40 or something, which a large portion of that price is coming from just me hating doing shading, but you know, I have to shade at some point. And I drew it wasn't a commission, but I drew a profile picture for one of my friends not too long ago for like a event he was doing, or he's like being a part of. I think it's too far away is the problem. And as I mentioned, it wasn't a commission. I didn't charge him for it, but I did use that as an opportunity to like simulate what it would be like to take a commission and start working on commissions. And I got it done like way quicker than I thought I would. And afterward, I pitched the idea to him of like saying, hey, if I were to have like charged you $40 for this full thing, would you be satisfied with it? And he said he was. So that's generally what my brain's doing right now, is trying to think about like commissions and things. This tail is a very particular shape and it's bothering me. So I'm actually gonna bring back the shape and make it really low opacity. And then I'm also going to move the anchor point to the point of the tail and rotate it that way. And maybe that'll help me try and figure out this tail shape a little bit more, like that. I think we're cooking here. I think we're figuring something out. Maybe a little bit more, like that. Oh yeah, hang on. I think we're working here. Like that. I would say getting somewhere. Generally like that is what I'm going for, because there's gonna be like a little bit of a fold here of the like the foreground and the background of the tail like overlapping and everything. And you know what? I would say in terms of general shape, that's fine. I guess I could also just straight up do like a diamond shape for the end and then connect that way. I'm actually going to try that real quick before I commit to this shape. So we're just going to go low opacity again, make the base go away. And we're literally just going to make this diamond shape. And we're going to use this to connect around the actual base of the tail, just to see if that will help me work out how I want to do this. I think actually yes, because I'm seeing something. If I do like this, where it curves in around the fold area, like that, it looks more like a beaver tail, but I'm actually going to keep both and see which one I want to do more when I'm actually doing the sketch. I think this one is probably the best we're going to get at the time. For the time, though. Oh yeah, speaking of, we now need to, once again, figure out what I want to do with her other arm. Damn it, I was procrastinating and now I have to do it. I don't know what to do with her other arm. I could have her arm, folded under the other. Let's try that real quick. I kind of wanted to have, the sleeves, more visible and everything, but I'm struggling here, so I want to see what would happen if I just did, I had her other arm folded under her right arm. So the elbow would probably be around here. Like that. That sort of deal, like that. I think that could work. So with that in mind, I'm going to do her boobaloo next so I can see where they would be resting in terms of her arm. So let's make her arms go real quick, which I can just turn off the group. What am I doing? Find our body, which should be here, and then we make a boob group. Did I not put her hand in? Oh, right, yeah, no, I made the hand and the arm separate thing. Okay, it's time for the fun part of how big do we make them. Seeing as how she's generally more reasonably shaped, probably not too big. Probably maybe that. Yeah, maybe just a little bit smaller than Bixie's. And now before I forget and I merge them before I do, we're gonna do the actual triangle shape that I always mean to do but forget to do. That'll be behind it anyway, so we'll just leave that. And then this one, and then I'm actually gonna do an eraser mask just for the sake of it. I haven't been using it enough, and I usually use it all the time, so I gotta make up for lost time. There we go, good enough. And then now we can bring her arm back, which honestly, I think I might make them a little bit smaller even. Crazy, I know, but nah, that's fine. I ain't gonna make them smaller. But now, with Boobloo here, we can actually see about doing her other arm as well. Which, did I delete them, or are they just in the other group? It looks like I may have deleted them, because I'm fucking stupid. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, though. Okay, so, let's see. I think the last time I made it so, it was too straight. It's too much of, a direct, right degree, 90-degree right angle. So, let's try more of this. I would say that's better than what I had before. It's basically the same, but I would say okay. I am noticing maybe her arm needs to be taller, so I'm just gonna move her hand up a little bit, maybe that much, and I'm gonna take her right arm and I'm just gonna make the forearm a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. So it's a little bit more in line with her other arm. And okay, in general, I would say we're getting somewhere. I would genuinely say, we are getting somewhere now. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab her booty and grab her tail, and I'm gonna put that in the same group as her booty, so I can move them both around to see if, I want to have her be a little bit more, just a slight change. Like that, maybe. Does that look better? I would say that looks better. Now we'll just do the thing, and we just crop it a little bit more so we can only do a thigh up. Her left ear is weirding me out a little bit, so I'm gonna see about maybe scaling and moving that around. Maybe make it slightly bigger, but slightly down, and then rotate it a little, so it's just drooping slightly. I like that way better. Okay, maybe want to make her tail just a little bit. I'm doing some fine-tuning here. That's what we're doing right now. Just do a very, very tiny bit of a slightly longer tail. Maybe that much, and then rotate a little. Very slight changes, but I would say, generally, I like this new look slightly better. So just make the ears and the tail slightly bigger, and then we're good. Okay, with that in mind, I would say this is probably good for a base sketch, but the hip area and like the 3 triangles that I do is looking... It's a bit wider than I normally do. Usually this, the middle one of like her groin area is thinner. So what I might do is just very quickly find her body thing. Yeah, right here. Make a new layer and just see generally what I would do in terms of like her actual torso area. Make her arms go away. We don't really need those right now. And we'll do... That's her tail right here. And that. And then... Generally the same over here. She's not wearing a super tight corset or a weight trainer or anything, so it's not gonna, the front of it's not gonna curve too much, if at all. Does that look normal? Oh, she just looks like, she looks a little bit chubby. Just a little bit chubby. Oh, it's really cute, but I just drew a chubby character. Alright, no. As much as I want to suddenly make this character chubby, we're gonna do variation and we're gonna make it, or like skinny and like, you know, voluptuous and everything. That made my brain immediately light up, but I'm gonna do some variety, just a little bit of variety, just a little bit. Maybe we could just do like literally the definition of curvy, where they've got the slightest bit of heft. But... yeah, I think what I'm seeing here is I'm doing the front okay, but I'm not putting enough curvature in the, like, her back. So we'll do this, which is like the reverse of what I did before, but do that, and then just go like super hard in the curvature here. Yeah, see, that's generally, like, it's bad, but, like, this is generally the shape I do for, like, Dixie and stuff. So we'll go ahead and do that again, but do it how I normally do it, and literally just, this is a weird angle for it, but normally I just, like, go up from where the hip is so it can, like, connect properly. But that's sort of resulting in the same result of it not quite being, like, curved enough. All in all, this doesn't matter too much because, you know, her fucking, whoops, her hoodie's gonna be in the way, but yeah, you know what, we'll just do what I did before, and... just sort of general bit, a little bit of curvy, and then like that. Then bring up her arms and see if that jumps out as like weird at all. I think the weird thing is that her boobloo might be a little bit high up. So with that in mind, what if we literally just move it down? Zooming out, I would say that looks generally better. So I'm just gonna see about moving her like torso to be like in line with that. But, you know, we don't really need that anymore because we have, like, the body, like, here. Let's erase this a little bit so it's not, like, overlapping and I can see properly. And now I think they're a little bit too low. So let's just bring it back up. And then, what if we just, like, scale them down like that? Will that make any difference? And will that make it look better? Who knows? We're gonna find out. Okay, decent. I'm looking at OBS on my other monitor, and I would say that's okay, decent. Boobloo is a little bit bigger than I had originally planned, but I'm not complaining. So I think with this in mind, that should be good for our base sketch, and we can actually start working on the sketch. But before we do that, we are going to make a quick erasure mask just to make so we have the necessary parts of like the diamond shape we do for the torso. Is that the wrong one? That's the wrong one. We wanted this one. We're just gonna erase any of the stuff that wouldn't be seen, so we just have like the shape of her boobloo and the actual torso itself and everything on our base sketch, so it'll make the sketch just that little bit easier. Boop. And then since I'm just kind of doing like general shapes anyway, we don't have like proper arm shapes or anything yet, but let's just throw in a neck real quick to see if it looks okay. Which we won't even actually really, never mind, we won't even see a neck because she's gonna have a hood anyway, so never mind. We're not gonna do a neck. But anyway, I think that will probably work for our base sketch. So that means we can finally get to actually drawing the character herself. And usually I do that to, like, I start with eyes, but I might start with her like ice crown first. I'll start with eyes just because that's what I'm used to. And while I try and figure out the shape of her eyes and everything, how about I do the Patreon plug, huh? A huge shout out to all of my current patrons. I love you all so much, and your support is always very much appreciated. If you would like to support me in the channel, you can do so on Patreon for just $5 a month and get a bunch of cool perks, such as work in progress art, whether it be for thumbnails or just something I happen to be working on, full resolution art, including for thumbnails, and most importantly, if you subscribe to my Patreon, you'll get access to a special channel where I host all of my director's cut and uncut content for your viewing pleasure. Additionally, if you want to support me but you aren't too keen on paying a subscription fee, you can always just buy one of my art posts directly, because with very few exceptions, they're all available for a one-time purchase anyway. I did that slightly out of order, but I did that, so I think now that we have the base sketch down, I will shut up for a little bit, give my voice a little bit of a break, and see about getting her eyes all set up and everything. So I'll see you in a little bit. I feel like I'm getting somewhere, but I feel like I could get there better in some way. So I don't know if this is what we'll commit to, but for now, I think it's what we'll do, and we might end up changing it later. Because we did that with Nina, too. We ended up changing her eyes near the end. Or near the end of the sketch, before I started coloring and everything, I think. I think that's probably fine for now, so we'll go ahead and put eyes in their own thing, and we'll do all caps so I can see it. I think I might do myself a favor, actually, and make the actual, like, iris and pupil themselves more bold. Just make them stick out a little bit more to see if anything weird jumps out at me about them. Ugh. Yeah, generally, I think that's fine. I think the left one, or her right one might be a little bit weird looking, but, you know, we can change that once we have, like, the rest of the face in, and we have more to go off of. So for now, that'll work. Do we want to do her crown first? Probably, yeah. Because I'd imagine that'd be fairly simple. So we're going to start with the center one first. It's going to be pretty big, because, you know, my facial proportions in general just kind of get scaled up regardless of who I'm drawing. So we'll do, like that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm already feeling okay about this. And just more steep curve here. Like, sort of like that. I think I'm gonna do just slightly off model. In what regard? The actual turn is gonna be a little bit less steep. Nah. I also did the size wrong. I could do the other side first, because I feel like that might be a little bit more easier with the fact that it's getting covered up mostly. So let's try the right side of it first. I'm gonna clean up the line a little bit here. Yep. And now we'll say start here. And does it, like, curve around? Oh, it does go a lot. Well, no, because there's a line there that's still, like, relatively the same, and oh, they all connect at the same part at the bottom. That's very helpful to know. With that in mind, I'm actually gonna do myself a favor, and I'm gonna make a separate... Sorry, I just ate. I'm full of meatloaf right now, so if I'm a little bit more gassy than I normally am, that would be why. So, seeing as how they all have, like, the same, like, bottom line, I'm just gonna make a general, like, guideline here for the bottom of the doodad. I'm gonna have it, like, it's gonna be a straight-up, like, facial guideline as well, so it's gonna be, like, overshooting a bit, but that, I believe, is going to be ultimately very helpful. Make the eyes go away so I can focus purely on the ice crown. So with the fact that they're all along the same, like, shape, so just to we'll do red real quick. The center of them where they bend is relatively the same. It's following that same similar line, and then you have the bottom line that I just did down there. And it's at the top that they really deviate. So what I may end up doing is, like, redoing this one to be more in line with the others, which actually, you know what, with that in mind, I'm straight up going to make a separate layer for the other two. Eyes go away, and now we'll just do one of these moves, and then have it curved down as such. Maybe a little bit polygonal. So do a bit more natural curve there, like that. I would say that's already better. I'm gonna make this come out a little bit more, just a little bit, not by much. Maybe that much. And then we're gonna have it curve around. So now we have it like sort of lining up where with the like eye is. Okay, and then we just do the same on the other side, which thankfully I have my handy dandy guideline here. So we'll just do like, start off with the bottom one so I can connect it down as such. Now we really want this to be like more straighten up here, more straight up here. So try that maybe. Yeah, no, I think that one went up a little bit too high is the problem. So let's start with it like right here, then connect it down. We're definitely getting somewhere here with this, but I may or may not be, yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and I am gonna have the center line be more like in line with the centerpiece of the ice crown here, because if we look at Glaceon with its like head being turned down, the head shape is much more like oblong than, you know, the circles that I normally do. So I think with that in mind, we are going to stylize it just a little bit to be more like akin to that. And I'm actually going to start this out a little bit as well, then curve it around, maybe with a bit steeper of a curve like that. I'm really not sure how I want to do this. Let's look at the outside curve of the ice crown here. Oh, it's much more gradual than what I'm doing. Okay, maybe that'll help then. So it's much more gradual rather than the steep curve, and then we curve it in there like that and have it connect at the bottom. Maybe? So what we're going to do now is we're going to start over from the center one, because this is going to be like the important thing, because this is part of Glaceon's design. We need to like get it like good. So start on this side, and then we're going to have it come down like right here. Then it's going to turn in, follow it like that, go out a little bit more, and then go back up. Is that better or worse? I would say, personally, that's already looking better. So we're going to keep that there for now. We're going to have it at the bottom above the eyes. And we need our baseline here. And since we know... actually, our baseline might be wigging me out a little bit. So I think I'm just going to eyeball it based off of the actual baseline, since we all know that it like connects at the middle there anyway, which, speaking of, we're gonna literally make it connect on the guideline there and have it tilt just a little bit, so it's like leaning back slightly. If I make it like perfectly in line with the center thing, is that, yeah, no, that looks super weird. So let's just have it there, but put the anchor point at the center line here, and then tilt it back slightly, like that. That still looks kind of weird. Here's an idea. We'll delete this old one and keep this new one as our new base for this, purely because I think this general shape is better. It just needs to be more refined, you know? And I think the way I'm going to do it is make it more properly proportioned for the perspective we're going for. So we'll have that part be the same, but we need this part to be slightly lower, like right here-ish. Looking okay. And just out of curiosity, let's just grab the same connecting point and connect it down just like before, but with a slightly different perspective, and see if I like that better. I think I do. I think I do. All right, cool. So now we'll roll with this, and then we'll do her left side one first. We can get a general idea of what we want to do. So I think we'll start it like right here, maybe a little bit higher and a more steep curve, back down to the center like that. I think I'm going too steep with it, because the points are like basically pointing the same way. So we theoretically want it to be like that, and that should be better. Is it better? I think it might be. Okay, I think we may have found our issue. I am going to make it slightly wider just to like cover up that little bit of head there. Perfect. I like that. I like that way better. And it's going to be covered up by our eyes mostly, so the specific shape of it isn't going to be awful. I may have to rotate it just a little bit though, or make the maybe that's what was weird about it. Maybe this eye is like a little bit too small. Either way, we'll worry about the eyes in a second. Right now we are worrying about the crown, which we'll just go ahead and start it the same way, and then maybe right here. Nah, I think it needs to go out slightly farther. I think it's coming up too soon and not going out far enough. So just kind of eyeball it like that, then curve it down like that maybe. That look okay? That looks kind of bad, but that's okay. Because she is looking like here. Oh, I see there is a little V there. So with that in mind, can actually adjust that a little bit, especially with the fact that we know where this connects. So if we just put this like right here, then, nope, too steep, or not steep enough rather, then connect it down. Better? Oh, we're getting there. Eyes. Looking okay. I think all we need to do is make this slightly higher, which we can literally just move up, like right there-ish. And then we can fix our sketch, which we're literally just gonna do by like doing that, and then drawing over it, and then come around like this, and round it off. I think that's it. I think that might be it. Let's bring our eyes in, and we're going to finally put these in their own group so I can put an erasure mask on them. So now we're gonna do moment of truth mode, and we're gonna put an erasure mask through the eyes so they can stop being covered. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Why was that erasing eyes? Oh, because I accidentally put the eyes in that group as well. Whoops, hold on, move them. There we go. These all still, that's in base. It's a good thing I noticed. So there's the base. And we want to move all this crap into sketch. Ooh, alright, there we go, problem solved. Anyway, what I've been trying to do is go in here with an erasure mask. Those are my eyes. Go in here with an erasure mask and fix this bitch. And see if that looks significantly better, which I think already it do. I think it do. But I'm going to change one single thing. And I'm going to make... Actually, that's a bad idea to do that specifically. Let's just go ahead and delete the erasure mask for now. I think all we're going to do is take this bad boy and make him more pointy. Yep, go. I want this. There we go. Like that. And since these are going to be covered up by the eyes anyway, we will just straight up erase them. We can fix them in terms of angle to be slightly more steep. As such, example like this. Not quite that much. Let's do it off of this eye first so we can get it visible, but there we go. Alright, now I believe we may potentially be cooking with gas. We have a lot of face to do going forward, and I'm not looking forward to that though. But hopefully, with the framing of the like Ushanka strap things on its head, that'll be slightly easier. I'm not sure though. Which, speaking of, in terms of her head, I might make this like wider. I'm gonna experiment with that real quick, like that. Okay, we're gonna grab specifically this right one here and make that wider. And then we're just gonna touch up the line just a little bit and see how that looks. It already looks kind of weird, but maybe once I get back and see... I would say it's probably fine. I just wanted a little bit extra room for the like little Ushanka straps here. So with that in mind, we have our ice crown. Sweet. We might make the framing straps first. I kind of want to try and put down a nose and a mouth first to see where I want her face to be. And I'm a little bit upset that I decided to go with like the eye framing crown, because I kind of wanted to do eyeshadow, but you know, whatever. I think before we do anything, we'll just go ahead and give her like eyebrows and stuff. Let's do like relatively small but thick eyebrows maybe. Yeah, sort of like that. And then the same over here. Okay, I feel like we're getting somewhere. Okay, so with the eyes sorted, let's try doing the nose and mouth first, which I think I know. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was more of a diamond shape, but it's more close to like Vixie's like nose shape. Where hold on, Vixie's nose shape is just kind of like that, just kind of like a triangle. But this one is more rounded on the bottom. Like that, which I might stylize a little bit by just kind of making, I might even make like a little diamond shape as well, like that. I think that looks better. I think we'll go with like a little diamond shape. So let's start just by throwing down said diamond shape, and then we'll move it to look correctly in a second if it looks weird. That's there. Let's morph it around a little bit, make it a little bit smaller, turn it, whatever. And then we're gonna just grab a big portion of it, bigger even, like that. So you can move that around to be like correct. Which I think even to make it like slightly easier on myself yet further, we're gonna do maybe like a little bit of a upside down V. Yeah, I just kind of did a :3 mouth, but whatever. I wanted to do sort of upset. Yeah, like that. That's what I wanted to do. So I think just with that, we're going to make the base really not opaque at all, but like 33% of 33%. And then we can use that to move the the face around and everything. You know, me changing the nose just slightly kind of made it just look fine. So maybe that was the issue I was dealing with. And now I want to do like that sort of like V face. And I think that's generally how I want to do it. But again, I did it on the wrong layer. So we're just going to just snippy, cool. And now let's see about just kind of tracing over that on the nose and mouth layer to be yet more specific of how I want to do it. Like that. And I'm actually going to do my best to not make, not do black lipstick like I literally always do, even though it's kind of like a trademark of my art. I'm going to try being a little bit different with this one. Okay, I think we have the face and mouth and such, so we're going to grab that and move it around and see where looks the most correct. Ooh, wow, ooh, look at it go. Ooh. Here's looking at you, viewer. I make the base go away for a second. I think that looks okay. So with the mouth and nose in place, let's see about doing the framing, like, tassel strap things that I keep talking about. Now, where do we want to start first, though? Probably this side. So let's just do like that. And then, oops. Sort of like that, but like that's way too like bunny ear-esque. And just by rotating it, I made it look infinitely better. Maybe make it a little bit shorter, and I think I will have to like move the opposite point up a little bit. I think that's okay. So honestly, I think what I'm just gonna do is do what I normally do and just kind of use that as a base and like trace over it. Oh yeah, having like it taper a little bit made that look so much better. Okay, yeah, we want to do that. So much better, infinitely like that. Which, with the tassel being here now, I'm gonna move this down just a little bit so it's a slightly more visible. So like right here-ish. Then have it come out slightly, and then fix it up right here. Infinitely better. Okay, now I just have to do the other one. And because I'm lazy, I'm just going to experiment real quick and see what would happen if I just duplicated it and like moved it just like I did with the ear. And now let's try a horizontal flip. Yeah, honestly, I might just do that. Screw it, why not? Now the thing that I really don't like doing is less distinctly shaped like muzzles and like jaw lines than like with what Vixie has. Alright, hold on. For Vixie, it's just kind of like this same... Alright, hold on. Yeah, there we go. It's just like this same line like that. However, Glaceon's head is a circle, and Vixie's is not. It's closer to being a triangle. Can't exactly just do that, and also, she doesn't have cheek fluff for us to bank on. We could, artist liberty and everything, and just give her cheek fluff, but I need to get better at drawing different head shapes, so that's what we're doing. So make this one go away for a sec. Actually, we'll put that on 50% opacity too. Maybe even like 33%, just to indicate it's like behind. But, what if we just like... Oh, wrong color. There we go. What if we just like cheekbones and then like that? That look okay? It probably looked okay at some point, but I fucked it up. I guess let's find where like her muzzle would be, like that. Generally, kind of, yeah, I guess. So let's just roll with this for a minute and see what we can do. Which obviously it's not going to be like this fucking one big line and everything because it's gonna be like broken up, but this part always wigs me out, which I might do the hood first just so I have something to go off of aside from a circle, but I really don't know. I could give her like hair in the back first. Give her hair just to make the back side of it be slightly less circular and bland. I'm gonna procrastinate a little bit more and do that real quick, but before we do that, I'm actually gonna put in the ears first, because those are super easy, because they're just the diamond shapes, which honestly, I don't even really need to pull this up, but I guess I will just in case. So ears first, and then hair, and then we'll see about maybe going back to the face. Now we're just gonna do like back hair, something like that. Ooh, yeah, there we go. And what if we like sort of make like the back her hair a similar sort of like diamond shape as like the rest of her stuff? Which you're not gonna see this obviously, but just for posterity's sake, so I know where her hair's gonna go, I'm gonna fill this out a little bit, curve it around like that. Yeah, there we go, hair. All right, and with that there. we're just gonna go through and make it a little bit more fluffy looking just by doing basically this, layering in these little bits of fluffage, and that will connect up to her body, so we can skip that part and just move that up a little bit so it connects up to her head area. Maybe a little bit more jagged than I would particularly want, but I don't hate it. That's the most important thing. I might like rotate it down a little bit because it seems like a little bit out, so we're just gonna put our anchor point here and rotate it. We'll put our hair there, and then we'll go back to one of her straps, which is somewhere, and we're gonna rotate this one just a little bit out a little bit more, and grab her hair again, which would be here, and just erase a little bit. And I guess while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and erase this down here as well, because we can see generally where her like body's gonna be. And I'll just have it be the back of her hair. Oh, actually, I might bring that back up now I think about it, because it's making her head look like excessively circular again, which is the entire reason I did that in the first place. Oh, what if she had like hair fangs, I believe is the term of it, as well. Hold on, I'm gonna like these sort of like bang situations like this. Because Vixie has these too, and they really help like break up the face a little bit. Oh, hold on, I might be cooking. Oh, hold on. Does that help? Oh, that might help. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Hold on. Ooh, I think the hair fangs are definitely a good idea, because it breaks up the like circular shape of the head, and it also looks kind of cute. So we're gonna do that just by like doing a little bit more of a curvy, less pointy version of that same thing we just did, like that. All right, hold on. Base, go away. Oh, I think that was a good idea, chat. I think that was a really good idea. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna roll with that, and then from here we can actually figure out how the hell we do the face, which I may take her left hair fang and duplicate it real quick just to see. Oh, it's part of her hair. Before I do literally anything, we're gonna fix that. Cut, paste, and now paste. We're gonna flip this real quick just to get an idea, because I guess we're just stacking on all of the like things that would frame her face. Yeah, that sort of deal. It would obviously be covered up by like the muzzle and everything, but I think that's generally a good idea. So we'll go ahead and delete that for now, because right now I think we have the makings of actually figuring out... Oh, and because she has longer hair, I might skip the hood and make it more like of a turtleneck situation. That might be more convenient, because I can still make it like a fluffy, like cropped sweater and everything, but I can have it be a little bit more in line with like, you know, big poofy long hair. So I think now is when I'm gonna start trying to figure out how to do the face here. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm thinking. I want to try having it, like, come out a lot like this, and then come down to the thing. And then we have this connect here, so it's sort of like an implied muzzle. That sort of look. Let's fill this out and see how that looks, and see if that will work. Because that's the style of muzzle that, like, the Eevees have. It's sort of like an implied muzzle. It's not like... They're more humanoid-shaped face. That's way better. Yes. Okay. So we want to do the implied muzzle, not muscle. So I'm gonna keep this and sort of just kind of figure out where I'd want that to start. I think this may be it. Maybe? I might try, like, literally, like, because I like doing this a little bit. Let's move it around a little. Oh, hold on. Getting somewhere. Actually, moving it up to, like, that. That might be better. Let's look at that. I think maybe. I think perhaps. Let's bring back the stuff that I made go away. Face be bigger, or more visible. I think generally, yes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the head go away, make the head shape go away. So we just have her and the body, which I think generally, yeah. I might literally do this, but have this like come out a little bit more. I'm not going to delete that because it's like the best one I've gotten, and I'm literally just going to trace this over the exact same way, but just have this come out a little bit, just to give her a little bit more of a chin. And then bring it back up and follow that line. See if I like that anymore. That might be it. That might be it. I'm just gonna erase you just a little bit more. I think that's it. That doesn't look awful, and if it does look awful, I can't register it right now. So I'm just gonna roll with that, and we're gonna put in like the other side of like her hair fangs or whatever the fuck they're called. Which honestly, I might just take these and copy pasta and see if I just like put them like going the same way. Yeah. Honestly, just like scale them a little bit and then erase. And then we find the strap again. All right. Good, awesome, cool, and dope. Love that. Oh my lord Jesus. So much longer than most of the time I draw faces. Usually I just blitz through it. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, bring the strap back. Does that look fine? It's not jumping out at me as super weird, so I think it's fine. So with all of her head and stuff in here, we're going to put all of that into its own group. So we always have the head. If we need to like morph it around or whatever, that's there. And now we can move on to the body. I'm probably not going to turn off the strap just so I still have it. I'm just going to make it like 25% opacity, which means it's time for Haley to show back up, because the Glaceon part, by and large, for now is like done. So let's see how I did this. Poof balls, and then, yeah. It was basically the same thing. Stock standard for big ol' sweater puppies. So now that I just get to draw boobs for a second here, and I can relax a little. Another one of the talking points I wanted to think about was, the fact that I'm not going to be doing Spooktober this year, most likely, which at this point, I'm pretty sure that I am not going to be doing Spooktober this year. I was thinking about the prospect of me maybe trying, at least in some regard, committing to Inktober, just so I do something for the month, because I do like, you know, October and Halloween and Spooky Month and everything. So I want to celebrate it some way. So I was thinking, since I'm not doing YouTube stuff for October, maybe I could do art stuff. Actually, I suppose with the fact that, you know, I'm doing art right now and I have an art series that, you know, lets me actually make time to do art even when I have to, like, keep up with, like, my my video schedule and everything. I've been doing art a lot more and a lot more reliably. So I'm thinking I might actually be able to, at least in some regard, do Inktober. And it's really just a matter of me remembering to, I guess, because I'm really scatterbrained at that sort of thing. So it's very possible that if I goof up Inktober, I'll just like, it'll likely just because I forgot. But as far as Inktober goes, I'm not sure if there's like a website or whatever for it, like ArtFight, or if it's just like you like give yourself a random theme or something. I've never looked into the specifics of Inktober, so I'm not fully sure of how to go about it, but it would be interesting to try. Did I put like the little stretch lines on it? No, I didn't. So I'll do that on this one, like it. Usually I can just like schlep these out, but let's just try like that maybe. More diagonal than vertical. Starting to see why I didn't bother with those. Yeah, I'll just skip them. Fuck it. Hood we did in the last episode, so I still have it generally in my memory on how to do it. It's just like a loose diamond shape, or a couple loose diamond shapes, like overlaid on each other, which we want this to come out more this way. Which I suppose, in all reality, I could just pull up Nina again and just look at it. Which, you know what, Sybil, you were helpful. I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, let's look at. I probably should have pulled up the craw file so I can make the colors go away. But yeah, okay. I might just do the neck line first, like that. Yeah, pretty much. I just kind of schlepped that, but that's like fine. I will do like this though. So we have neck there, and that will make doing stuff around and on top of the neck a little bit slightly more easy. Oh, sorry. I did the thing that I hate that people do. Okay, and now we'll just erase those unnecessary lines I threw there just to make my brain happy, as such. Now we'll just do this, which I think was basically just the same thing, but like, yeah, there we go. I'm getting steadily better at drawing hoods, and I vibe with that. While you can't hear it, Evanescence is playing, and I'm vibing. All right, hood is a little bit of a step forward. So now we're just going to do the fluff situation, which I do in a very simple way, just like this. And then we do the same thing on the inside. I have been drawing like fluff this same way ever since like my Sona was a sheep. So It's a method that really, really works for me. Shoutouts if you remember when my persona was a sheep, by the way. You've been around for a long time. Which, speaking of, I should draw her eventually. Like, since she's just kind of an OC now. I should draw her at some point. It might be kind of fun. Yeah, I think this side's fine, but this side needs to be, like, more laid down. So let's just erase right there and start over from scratch. Marginally better. Yeah. I think this will work for now, but I'm going to really quickly just erase like these parts and have that line be her neck coming up as such, like that. Then just erase all this because it's unnecessary. And I think once I like get her arms like working and going, I'll probably make the hood a little bit wider now that when I actually have like shoulders to drape the like the fabric over and everything. But for the time being, that's fine. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's fine. Honestly, her neck here is kind of bothering me, so I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Maybe the fluff was the best idea there. So let's just delete her neck outright. Yeah, no, I would say that's better. I might give her like a choker, just like I might do the Vivzy Pop strategy of giving her a choker, so there's like something going on with her neck. I mean, she knows what she's doing. She's been drawing for a very long time. There you go. Okay, so with that in mind, let's throw on some drawstrings real quick, which I'll start with the little, like, fluff cotton ball situations. There we go, little puff balls, and we have little drawstrings. We'll just do the same situation that I did with Haley here and just have, like, this fluff be, like, the waist belt, so to speak, which honestly I can do on the same layer. Actually, I was going to make it very similar where like this side is like a little bit down and like drooping a little bit, but I kind of like the way it like rides up like that. So we're actually going to roll with that. I think that looks fine. What's your favorite evolution, by the way? Because I may have mentioned, I think I mentioned this in the cold open. My favorite is Flareon, and I have a Flareon plushie named Muffin, but it used to be Glaceon for the longest time. Okay, I guess let's just start with the shape of her. I can then do, thankfully it's like skin tight, you know, pantyhose and whatnot, so I can literally just trace the outline of her body. Then I can just add some lines here and there for her clothes. I want to give her a little bit more booty. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. See, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're taking this from an OC I drew that wasn't even really an OC and was a one-time thing, and I was probably never going to draw again. We take outfit ideas from her. Yes. I love my job. Now, did I like do the thing I normally do where it's like I split? No, I didn't. I just did the like the lines for the like fishnet parts of it, the mesh. So I'll probably do the same here. I kind of want to mess with this a little bit because what with her shape being the way that it is, I'm gonna take the left side here and I'm gonna cut it out in case I want to keep it, and then I'm gonna redraw it so it's more generally like in line with the rest of her lower body. Generally, but from here I might actually do like the little separation for the thigh part as well. So I'm just gonna put a line here so I know where like generally to start. That is way better. That is way better. It's a little bit oblong, so I'm just gonna trace over this, but like, there's something that looks weird about that. Try fill in like the side here a little bit, see if that makes it look a little bit better. I think it might just because like the line here is a little bit like sloppy. So if we just clean up the sketch a little bit, I would say that helped. All right, cool. And where would her belly button be? Probably like right here-ish. It's a little high. Like right there, probably. Yeah, that's good enough. And now let's see about schlepping on some mesh here. So I like how I did this, so I'm probably gonna do the same. Wow, I really just ended up almost copying Haley's body type in general. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I think I made her boobs bigger. They might just be the same size, they're just like a little bit heavier, you know? Regardless, I'm vibing with this. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is probably the arm that we can like see the most of, and I'm gonna start by doing the like fur cuff, like the wrist cuff that this has, which she doesn't have freakishly huge hands, so it's gonna be different, but in general it's gonna be like the same vibe. You see what I'm doing here? I'm picking up one, putting down, you smell what I'm stepping in. And with that being easy, let's pull up Vixie real quick. Ooh, actually no, let's not pull up Vixie, because I wanted to give her like fingerless mittens. That it. Yeah, generally like that. Let's just see if we can just kind of like eyeball it in general, because the faster we can do this, the better in my opinion. So I'm just going to quickly make the fluff a little bit bolder before I forget, because I will forget. And I do want to like run over the sketch, because I'm not doing line art for these, I'm just going to do a sketch, just to make sure that, you know, the videos aren't like 2 years long. I'm just going to clean up the lines on the sketch and then color it with flat colors, and then we're good. Which obviously we're not nearly like that done yet, but when we get there, that's what we're doing. Just a little heads up for you. Like, wowee, look at this. This is a vibe. Oh, and while I try to figure out like what shape I want to do for like her shoulder and everything, another thought occurred to me on why Let's Draw as I seem to like work more efficiently. I think it's also because I'm listening to music instead of like watching a video or something, so my attention is always on what I'm working on and not occasionally swapping to like laughing at an old AVGN video or something. That might also be a factor, but don't quote me on it. There's no way to know for sure. Alright, base, I need you to go away for a second. How does that look? And the strap too. I would say, given how much is covered up, that's generally good, but we want to make it slightly wider. So I'm actually going to leave that here for the time being and just edit it like this. And I think I'm going to do myself a favor and literally just cut this out. Well, not cut it, but just snip it and then move it out this way. But like there-ish. And see if that looks better. I think her shoulder's too square is the issue. It doesn't look like casual. It looks like she's stressed out. Better? Meh. Let's try going slightly less hard on the fold. Better? I would say good enough, because I'm pretty sure this is probably going to end up getting covered by the strap anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to have the strap going over it, and then hidden behind like the hand in the foreground maybe. We'll probably do that. Then now we have to figure out the arm going under, which could be interesting. Where's her boobaloo at? Because that would be handy to be able to turn off. Well, not turn off, but, you know, low opacity, like I normally do. I don't know what this is on low opacity, but I'm not seeing anything. Alright, I guess that's just a blank layer. Now that's all on low opacity. Okay, this is largely going to be covered up by her arm here. So I think we'll probably just do, like, the cuff, like, peeking out here, which is going to be more like this. And then we can... interesting. How are we gonna do this? I'm a little bit upset that it's gonna like cover up her tummy and the like the little like fluff thing of like the sweater and everything, but I don't think that's gonna be avoidable with the pose that we chose. I am gonna do myself a favor though and make all of this like even less opaque. And I'm gonna start with like that shape we got, her sleeves in general, like that. And then I'm gonna like work on getting like the particular folds of it and everything correct in a second. So let's start with this one over top, like that. And then we'll see about doing this one too. That, maybe? It's looking generally better. So with that here, let's now do the cuff. Okay, let's try this, see how it looks, and like, I'm gonna put the bottom stuff in an erasure mask. And now we bring it all up back to opacity and turn off the base. I think that's good. I think the only thing I'm gonna change is I'm probably gonna like take her elbow and move it up, so like the sleeve itself is under, and just take the L on the the fluffy underside of it, and then grab the elbow, which thankfully is its own thing here. Also, what is that? What is this right here? Oh yeah, that's just the fluff. Okay, gotcha. So we'll just go ahead and just erase that because we know it's not going to be there anymore. And I'll touch that up afterward when I just go over everything and touch up the lines. Thankfully, I did a smart and I separated the forearm from the upper arm, so I can literally just put the anchor point on the elbow and move it up. Just like that. And now we erase all the stuff we can't see. Go back down to our erasure mask and bring some of this back. Damn, we can't even see our belly button. That's unfortunate. But on the bright side, it looks pretty good. I think the one thing I'll change is probably I'll make the cuff a little bit bigger, so it's hanging off a little bit. Because it's a little bit more inline here, at the same time it like swoops out a bit more. So we'll leave the sleeve there and just touch up the fluff, which honestly I'll even put it on a new layer. Oh man, my back is already starting to hurt, but we're getting close to the finish line here. I would say that's probably good. And now I'm going to do what I mentioned before, and I'm just going to very quickly go back to the hood and make it a little bit wider, a little bit bigger in general. I think that's good. So now what we're gonna do is just do the tail, and I think that should be everything. And then we can start coloring it. Which thankfully I made her butt a lot bigger, so it's much more in the way, so I can be less specific. So obviously you guys don't hear this at all, like whatsoever, because obvious thing here. I'm listening to Spotify while I draw, so I have something to listen to, and it's not just silent the whole time. I swear to G, if I hear anything about Dairy Queen's fucking Superman bullshit one more time, I'm gonna go postal. Millions will die. So now, as a final thing, until we touch up, we want the right strap so we can actually make it exist and not just have it be low opacity the entire time. Make it full opacity, then erase. Oh crap, we don't need. Apparently right there I didn't actually complete the line, so I didn't erase anything. Alright, well, we'll just remember that, whatever, who cares. Let's go back up to body and find our other shoulder, because that needs to be erased because the tassel is in front of it. Erase that crap. What is this line that I'm seeing here? Oh, I never erased the whatcha-doos on the actual sleeve itself, like the guidelines, did I? I'll find it eventually. This is why you name your layers, people. Oh, I put it in with the boobaloo. That's the issue. Now I can go back to what I was doing and making the strap better. Always stay strapped, everyone. I actually am gonna do, I think we're gonna do the outlines of the little patches on her ears and stuff in the line art, quote unquote. The sketch, obviously, but these little things, I'm gonna do that on the sketch, at least lightly, which this one you can't even see, so we'll just do it on this other one. And do they connect at the point? They connect at the point. Okay, and now just do what we have been and touch up the lines to make them bolder, which I'm actually gonna just straight up do a new version of this line. I think this should be epic and cool, dope and awesome, and the eyes aren't really jumping out at me as super weird even when I flip it, even when I look at the other monitor and flip it, so I think we might be done here. I may do just hold on, I'm just gonna make a whole ass new layer and put it above the other things, and I may just do a little bit of like that for her hair. So I think largely this is complete. She's really cute. I like her a whole lot, but I already have an OC like in mind with this outfit, so this particular Glaceon in this fashion is probably not going to be an OC. If you want to give her a name regardless, make sure to leave a comment down below. So from here forward, it's probably just going to be a big time lapse to the finish line. So thank you all for joining me for this next episode of Wheel of Fortune, and this has been, so far, roughly around the same time as the last one took, so at least I'm consistent. Anyway, let's get to cleaning up and then coloring. Superman Dairy Queen bullshit again. Oh, it's gonna happen. It's good enough to tempt Superman himself. But like, okay, cool. Is Superman supposed to be like this paragon of virtue who like has not lust in his heart or some shit? Like, I'm sure the dude likes ice cream. I'd imagine he does. Like, why the fuck is that such a ringing endorsement? Oh, cool. Our ice cream makes this person who would very likely like ice cream want to eat it. Ooh. Like, who the fuck cares? I don't care. Do you care? I sure as fuck don't. Christ McCross, man. Superman cake batter, cookie dough, blizzard, god fucking, oh my god, it's gonna be so good. I swear to god, it's so good. You should really try it, and also you should watch Superman in theaters. It's gonna be really cool. I know, like, superhero movies are really overplayed, and like Marvel especially has just made them fucking insufferable, but like, I swear to god, this is like DC. It's not Marvel. It's really good, I swear to god. The flavor, all the sweetness, 0 calories, you can trust us. Ugh, god, it's so fucking hot. Miss Piggy, get in here. Believe I have dementia. I don't know what to do. Miss Piggy, no. I'm gonna pass out. Oh, man. Never gets easier on my back. Oh, jeez. I think this is more than enough for this episode of Let's Draw. 5 hours this time. I took a little bit extra time on the coloring and stuff part, but hey, here we are. Now all that's left is to sign this for Patreon and shout out. I think I'm going to treat myself to some more meatloaf after this, because, oh boy, do I love meatloaf. So, with that, another episode of Wheel of Fortune has come to an end. And so far, I would say, it's been incredibly successful in terms of drawing characters that I like and doing a good job at it. We got super lucky on both episodes so far. The first episode, we got the Pokemon that I wanted the most out of the backlog rolls, and in this episode, we just got a good Pokemon that's easy to Anthro. Oh boy. I am feeling good, I'm feeling alive and beautiful. So, with all that being said, that is going to be this video. Once again, Snowy's gonna have a free lunch with editing this, because, you know, that's just how Let's Draws are. They're nice and simple for everyone involved, and I love it. This, as with most of my art posts, will be up on my Patreon if you want the full thing, if you want the raw crop file, etc., which, speaking of, I'm gonna end this video here. So, a huge shout out to all of my current patrons. I love you all so much. If you genuinely enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like, and make sure to hit that subscribe button to become a puppy if you haven't already, and hit the bell so it actually does something. If you want to support me in the channel, you can do so on Patreon for just $5 a month, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks, or you can just buy one of my art posts. I'm going to end this video here. I'm not sure if this particular Glaceon is going to be an OC herself, but if you want to give her a name, make sure to leave it down below. I'll definitely look at it at least. With all that being said, my name's Vixie, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.